I've been holding off on commentary videos for the longest time, but after people started making videos justifiably taking a duker on these anime tourists, I'm ready to start opening up about anime culture that's becoming a legitimate threat to the industry we love.
不合格だ。
What is an anime tourist? Generally, new fans that have no respect for the history of anime, don't understand why certain animes are popular, and think that they can have an influence over the direction of anime. That is the premise of this video, that last part. Having influence over the anime industry. Just like Seri that gatekeeps magic, we need to gatekeep the freedom of the stories that end up in anime. I have no issues over people having bad anime takes or controversial ones. I mean, I don't like Neon Genesis, but I respect the fans, the cultural impact, the iconic brilliance of the characters like Asuka and Misato, the biblical influence apocalyptic nature of the story. I mean, I just can't get over the fact that Shinji busted one out right on the hospital bed next to Asuka when she was passed out. That basically sums up why I don't like Neon Genesis Evangelion. So now that you guys heard my controversial take, one of my biggest fears about anime is something that the Freerun director came out recently to warn us about. The mainstreamness and westernization of anime. It's not only the woke and crapification of anime, it's going to start becoming a celebrity problem. Celebrities, meaning they have cultural pull over the direction of where anime goes. Have you guys ever seen one of these anime clothing collabs with celebrities like Lady Gaga and Logic? Literally, the IP sells itself. If anything, if you mix celebrities like Lady Gaga, Logic, and Megan Thee Stallion on anything, that diminishes the value of the clothing. In Megan Thee Stallion's case, she has respectfully blended herself into anime culture rather than be a driver of it. She cosplays respectfully to the characters, has a banger of a song with Ko, aka Yuki Chiba, and she does the most important thing. She doesn't spew politics or tell us what the anime industry should be doing.
不合格だ。帰れ。
One thing I will warn people over Megan Thee Stallion, if we allow celebrities like her to have influence over anime, mark my words, it will turn into Marvel, where they will try to drive their own political agenda behind it. This article right here is what we should be fearful of the Megan Thee Stallion type of celebrities. These are the type of articles that scream industry plant. Anime doesn't need celebrities to be mainstream. It's literally doing it on its own with its own merits, like how Demon Slayer Infinity Castle is doing right now. Anime has never ever been a celebrity driven industry. It's about the iconic characters, the story, the mangakas, the storytellers behind them, where we never ever saw Akira Toriyama out and about, Oda Eiichiro acting like a celebrity. It's the awkward, introverted nature of these storytellers and their artwork alone that makes us love what they produce. Anime is inherently weird, different, off the wall, but it taps into qualities that we can all identify with. The difference between influencers like Giguk and the anime man versus the anime men as celebrity figures is how they treat anime. Garnt and Joey got their celebrity for their commentary about anime. The anime men got their clout for being the epitome of anime tourists. Celebrities like Megan Thee Stallion, while I respect how she integrates herself in anime culture and she's been doing it for a long time, it's not long before celebrity types like her become industry plants that start wielding their influence to steer the culture. This is a warning for the industry plant type of celebrities trying to ingratiate themselves in anime culture and the anime tourists that believe what they say matters. And that is the issue. If people that don't get anime get influence over the direction of anime, we are going to be living in hell, just like Dragon Ball Evolution. This leads me to speak upon why anime is great. It is the wild west of storytelling. It is the anything goes martial arts of storytelling. It already has all the weird and wacky stuff that caters to all sides of the aisle. No matter what your weird politics are, anime has a strong representation across the board when it comes to archetypes that people project their politics onto. You have strong female characters, strong female leads, and you have the opposite of the alpha type of female characters with the typical feminine princesses and just straight up booby bait fan service. Then there is the old pesky loli debate that I will get into shortly. The special sauce to anime is the fact that it sticks to the story without any agenda being pushed on you. It's legitimately about the story, the plot, the motivations that doesn't have some stupid Western political agenda behind it. One of my recent favorites in the past couple of years is Ragnar Crimson. Crimson is literally a gender-bending anti-hero kind of character, and I love all aspects of him. Her? This character is amazing, and it's not because he represents the T word in LG whatever. There is no political agenda behind the character. He merely wants to get revenge on these divine dragon characters and will do whatever it takes to manipulate our main character in Ragnar to genocide all the dragons. Crimson is the perfect example of good writing for a character where the gender bending aspects of his design is apolitical. People would try to project their politics on these characters and the story, but it becomes too obvious that it is a projection rather than a real representation of the character's artwork. I remember reading an article at some point where somebody was interviewing, I think, Rumiko Takahashi of Ranma. They talked about the political nature of Ranma turning to a girl and back to a boy. My entire childhood, my entire life, I never thought about it being a T thing. That is the kind of world I want to go back to, where all that stuff didn't matter. And that is why I love the fact that anime is Japan gate kept. Don't let our greasy, disgusting Western politics get involved with the wacky and weird of anime. Here is my hot take about loli. If you see a loli character which is defined as anything from baby-like, toddler-like, to nubile-like, when something has too much meaning, it literally has no meaning then. These days, when people say loli, they go straight to PDF accusations. If people like Nuxtaku, whom I respect, go straight from hearing loli and think of PDF, there is a huge cultural problem here, and that needs to separate the PDF lolis from just loli characters that just simply contribute to the story and have no eroticism associated with the character. So the problem isn't loli characters, it's loli characters that look like kids being erotic. The reason why I bring up lolicon is because it's a highly disputed topic in anime. Most of the time, it isn't actually a problem, but when there is, it's usually obvious infant, toddler-like characters being used in inappropriate ways. Characters like Koenma are technically loli. Milim, Shaltir, Hestia, Roxy. These are all characters that are anywhere between child size, have childlike personality, and if you really want to get technical, one of my favorite characters from Frieren, Seri, is technically loli too. I just want people to recognize that all of these characters are considered loli under most people's definitions when they contribute to the story differently, and most are not even used in the context of anything inappropriate. To me, it's probably more of a lolicon culture problem itself rather than the characters themselves being the problem. Which means we need a new word that separates the two. So please comment down below what you guys think the new word for loli should be. That shouldn't be associated with PDF stuff. And list your characters that represent that. We really do need a new word that separates bad lolis from good lolis. So yeah guys, let me know what you guys think about the incoming celebrification of these industry plants. The anime tourists and lolis. Let me know in the comments below. And do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, check out my blog at otakusen.com, check out my previous videos on Frieren, and check out my second channel where I'm covering the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity and the Sword of the Demon Hunter. And I appreciate you guys watching, I'll see you guys in the next video.